Okay, in the next part of this video, we're talking about the axial skeleton system, and the first part of this is the vertebral column. Consists of 7 cervical, 12 thoracic, 5 lumbar, 5 sacrum, and a coccyx, or much tinier vertebra. Each vertebra has a cylindrical body, and it's where the neural canal passes through, or it's also called the vertebral foramen, and it's these holes right here, these foramen right there. Alright, and something common about all the vertebra is that something common about all the vertebra is that the neural canal is bounded to the pedicle, which is this part right here, between the 2 foramen, right here, and the lamina right here up front. Okay, the next part of the vertebral region is the thoracic region, where it's all the thoracic vertebrae. And you can tell that this is thoracic by the shape. It looks like a giraffe. Okay. And for the thoracic vertebrae, you can tell it is thoracic by its, other than the giraffic design, it has a spinous process right here, pointed inferiorly, as well as two costal facets right here, an inferior one and a superior costal facet. Then the top are the superior articular facets. And the next set of vertebra is the lumbar vertebra, and lumbar looks like a moose, very like the antlers and the nose right here. Some notable features of a lumbar vertebra is the transverse processes on the sides, as well as the superior articular facet right here. And then, as said before, all vertebrae have a vertebral foramen right here in the middle. Okay, continuing on down the vertebral column, we have the sacrum and the coccyx. Coccyx is not here right now, but on the sacrum we have the superior articular facets on the superior side. Then we have the anterior sacral foramina, little holes right here. Then on the posterior side of the sacrum we have the superior articular facets right here, as well as the sacral tuberosity on either side. Then we have the posterior sacral foramina, so the holes on the posterior side. And the spine right here is the median sacral crest. There's a little spine right there. Then you have the lateral sacral crest, so this little crest right there is on both sides. There. And we have the articular surface for articulation. And on the inferior side we have the sacral hiatus, where the coccyx would articulate with, but I currently do not have one right now. And here the coccyx is like a sort of post tail, but of course we don't have tails as humans. Moving on to the more thoracic region, we have the sternum right here, present in front of me. Over here on the top, on the superior side, we have the jugular notch, or attached to jugular, the clavicle notch, which articulates with the clavicles, the manubrium right here, the body of the sacrum, or the sternum, my bad. And we have costal notches side. This is for where the ribs will attach its costal cartilage right here, as well as the xiphoid process on the very inferior side. Alright, and finishing off the axial skeleton, we have the ribs. So the ribs connect to the sternum through the costal cartilage, as we saw on the sternum. So the first 6 or 7 pairs of ribs are called true ribs, which connect directly to the sternum. Then the next ones are called false ribs, 4 to 5 of them. They are called false ribs as they don't connect directly to the sternum. And then we have the floating ribs, which are the last ones, because they have no attachment to the sternum at all. Some ways we can tell for the sternum, for the ribs, my bad, is the more rounded surface on top is superior, while the more spinous crest spine right here is inferior in the human body. Alright, and with the ribs, there are articular facets and tubercles to the ribs. So they're on either end. The head right here, and this is where the costal cartilage will attach to the sternum. And as you can see, they come in different sizes, being the first rib is more small in size, and the more going more inferior, they get bigger in size, until you reach the very inferior by the floating ribs, which go back to being smaller ribs. Okay, and that has been the axial skeleton.